This is Captain James Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Begin 30-second countdown.
Hey, I can't kill the boogeyman.
Conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil.
Nothing to be scared of. Are you sure? How?
I killed him.
Hey, I can't kill the boogeyman.
What's good, my brothers? What's happening?
My brother Nelson, my brother Lou.
Yo, what's up, yo? Word, no doubt.
You listening to rap music, bro? What the fuck?
Yeah, I was bumping some nice and smooth a little bit ago, and some Pete Rock and CL Smooth. Some Pete Rock took me back to when I used to watch Yo MTV Raps. You know what I mean?
So
amazing intro.
What do you think? Well, we know where we're going with it, huh?
Yes, sir.
Oh man.
With today's show.
Y'all, can y'all gentlemen do the roll call? Give me a minute.
Yeah, go do your thing, Bob. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
You want to grab that one?
Yankees. Yeah, I got it. Yankees for life. My brother, the man, the pinstripe, the Bronx Bomber himself. We got Pain Like Bane, Add 'em Up Pictures and Production. Claudio Perry. Our Canadian pal, Danny Stories. Primo Johnny. Nunzio. Rudy Castro and the Silhouettes. Long time no see. Thanks for stopping by. What's Real? Another Canadian pal of ours. Who else we got here? Sean. What up, Sean? Drito, 5K. 2 Bay Area cats in the house. 556 Media. Let's see. Joe Della Mura. Jane Perry. Anthony Luciano Raimondi.
Raimondi.
Yeah. Doodoo Brown is in town. Let's see who else we got. Bindu and happy birthday, Vito the Pit Bull.
Oh.
And that's
Vito's
what I got
calling.
so far. I don't know.
Vito's
Yeah.
calling.
He said, "Where's that cake at you put on the?" He said, "Where's that 2 cakes you put on the deal, on the message, on the little comment, whatever."
He said, "Dad gave me pizza. You need the steak. Where's the steak?" Oh man. So what do you think, Lou? What do you think about our subject tonight? Because that one's gonna be a freaky one.
It's
Huh?
yeah, it's pretty. We got a lot of. It's like once, man. Put it this way: when I started looking into things, man, I didn't realize. I mean, I knew there was a lot of weirdos out there, you know, and sadistic people, but man, especially in the state of California, there's a ton, and Texas and Florida, man,
Yeah.
it's like just real sick people in the head, man. Just
Yep. The Indo
You
said,
know?
"Doing good." Yeah, he did. Claudio, how you doing, bud? Ramel, how you doing? Joe Delamora, what's going on, bud? Yeah, so I figured, yeah, we hit that topic today, man, because a lot of people, I mean, we spoke about it on the last show, and we didn't really get deep into it. But if you really look at it, man, I mean, I've gotten onto the YouTube thing watching this, man, and it is sickening, bro. The way these guys deal
Yeah,
with
it is.
B. It is what it is.
Say
Henry,
the-
that's Henry.
Yes, sir.
I didn't
Say the
listen.
least.
I didn't know who the dude was, man, until I started looking into it. And yo, that was a sick cat, bro.
Man, there's even a cat that I knew of already that, you know, he got busted recently, but his stuff spanned like 5 decades, you know, and he would have been charged with a lot more, but the fact was the statute of limitations, you know, was up, you know, on the ones that he didn't commit murder on, and it's just like, and this other guy that I was looking at, man, he has over 58. There's 58 other murders that they believe he had something to do with it, but he didn't confess to them, and it's the same type of style, you know, the you know, the same type of, you know, gimmick the way he did it with the other women, and it's like, wow, you know what I mean? And I noticed a lot of these guys end up getting arrested. A few of them, you know, and they end up passing away within a few years after getting locked up, after, you know, doing so much damage and turmoil and just evil, sick stuff to people, you know, and their families, you know, for years. They don't even know, like I just said, 58 murders this guy they believe he's committed, and, you know, they have no answers for these families. And, you know, and there this guy gets arrested, and a couple years later he dies of natural causes. You know what I mean? It's something else, man. Something else.
Sick, bro. It's sick. You know, I don't know if you've seen, but inside the intro, I put Vlad Tepes, which a lot of people really don't talk about. They know him as, you know, the guy
Dracula.
Dracula. You know what I mean? Everybody talks about Dracula, but at the end of the day, yo, he was a psychotic prick, bro. Dude was just like off the chain. April, what's going on, honey? How you doing? You know, he
putting all those heads on.
bro.
He was something else, man. He was, I watched something on him, man, and it was like, wow. You'd be surprised with, you know, this stuff's been going on for years. This type of sadistic acts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. You know, some of the things that these people were tortured. You know, they were violated, tortured, and who knows what else. You know what I mean? Crazy.
No, that was
crazy.
That was psychotic, bro. Sven, how you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
Sven Lawson in the house.
But, yeah, we got like maybe we have a few that we're gonna perhaps talk about. I don't know if we're gonna get around to all of them, but we got quite a few different sadistic individuals that we're gonna go over some of their background history a little bit, and you know, the things they've done, things they've actually got charged with, convicted of, and things like that. Some of them were like, they span, their criminal actions spanned over 3 or 4 different states. Some guys were committing heinous acts, in this area, and then, so many years this area, and then they would move to another area and then get a whole new name because, they started a different pattern, and then a few years later move to another area and get another name again, until they finally put it all together who it was. Crazy. Yeah, bro. Definitely.
Joe McDougal, what's going on, bud? Yeah,
what's going on, Joe?
I think we should start off with good old little Henry, bro, because Henry's start in life was unreal, bro. The stuff that dude went through, and it just created, I ain't even gonna say a monster, bro. It created the devil in carnage, bro. Because the dude he was like a nasty dude, bro.
Right.
He hit on everything.
Right.
He hit on everything. So I mean, I don't know if you heard anything about the dude, him getting locked up and how he started.
No, not really. I mean, I after looking through some things that I found, articles and things like that, I learned some. But no, I never heard of this dude. You know what I mean? Until his name was brought to him.
This dude, he started. From what I heard, he started at a young age with the robberies and doing little stupid shit, bro. But the cat has something in him where he would rob certain places and he would burn it down so they wouldn't figure out who he was. This is at a young age, bro, until he got locked up. When he got locked up, he was a short dude. He was about your height, like 5'3" or some shit like that. And he was a short dude, scrawny little dude. So when he got locked up in the South. You know what I'm saying? And back in that time, that era, the jail system was unreal. So according to what they say, according to his daughter, actually, she said that he got raped in jail. They ran a train on him with, I think it was 20 dudes, bro.
Oh, wow.
So that right there just like blew his mind, bro. That dude went psycho. So I guess he came out, and he tried to murk somebody. They survived. They put him back in. The guys were doing the same thing to him. What did he do?
Right.
He figured, you know what? I'm getting out. I'm not, this and that. He got out, gets locked up again. This time he figured, you know what? I'm not nobody's dinner. And he took out the biggest dude. When he did that, he got his respect in the joint. And that, like, it just, how can I explain it? It took him to
catapulted him to the level he became, right? Yeah.
Catapulted.
Right.
So now this dude, all he did was he came out, bro. He started murking people like it was nothing. It was just a game, He was killing his daughter's friends, family members. I mean, he was killing everybody in sight, man. He'd tell people, yo, I got some cars I'm gonna sell you. Take them into the woods, bro. People be looking up and tell them, oh yeah, look at that tree. When they looked up, bro, he would murk them. And it was so bad that the dude, remember, this is the South back in the 50s and stuff like that. So the racism ran rampant. And because this dude didn't like, mixed relationships, there was a white girl that had a mulatto baby. And because he didn't like it, bro, he wound up chopping the poor baby up, bro, hit him in the back of the head with an axe, and then murked her. So when they caught him, bro, he had his own burial ground. Dude had his people already buried, bro. I was like, holy shit. And he had a truck. He used to drive a truck that said, we haul him. And he had his own grave site. I was like, oh, damn. But it's sickening. But that they based movies on that dude.
Yeah, I read when I was looking him up, that he has 3 confirmed killed, 8 disputed killed, and they believe upwards of 250 people he's killed.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
crazy.
That's a heavy count.
Wow.
Yeah. So let me get so his name is Henry Lee Lucas, and they said he was born in a one-room cabin and somewhere in Virginia. I remember that. And then they said somewhere in the literature it said that he lost an eye at like 10 years old because he got some type of infection and he lost his eye. And that's how, I don't know if you've noticed or anybody's looked him up since we've been talking about him, but he has a droop in his left eye. And I found a picture that I didn't even know it was him, but when I seen the eye, that's what let me know it was him. And I was thinking that he still was around, that they hadn't executed him yet. But no, that was an older picture, like 20 years old. But the only reason I recognized him because was the droop eye. Something like Lucky Luciano has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, he lost his eye because of that infection. And yeah, that was the other part of it I forgot to say was that the eye got infected because of a fist fight with his brother. And I guess his brother punched him in the eye, and that somehow that caused an infection. Crazy. And then
he took his brother out too.
Yeah, and then a friend. I guess they spoke to a friend about him because, like you said, they did movies and documentaries on this guy. A friend said that that he always displayed like frightening, strange behavior. And his mom, they said also too that his mom was a prostitute, and they would force her to watch. She would force him to watch her, be with people and stuff. And and they said that it also said in there that he would cross dress, like they made him cross dress.
Oh hell.
In public. You know what I mean? And then later it also said that his mom pimped him out. I don't know, these are to both men and women. So he already had issues with his sexuality already. So when he started getting raped in the joint, I guess, he probably had a lot of, PTSD from that. But
yeah.
It's proven time and time again from studies and all that these things, when things happen to people, a lot of times they offend. It becomes a pattern where they start doing that same type of crap. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I still don't think there's no excuse for that shit because right from wrong, because if you didn't, you wouldn't try to hide the fact. You know what I mean? Oh, don't tell nobody, or I'll hurt you. Don't tell your mom and dad, or any of that type of shit. You know what I mean? So
yep.
I don't buy that shit. But it is what it is. The professionals are gonna say that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The teachers, they even said that the teachers complained about him cross-dressing too. I forgot about that. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, you can see a lot of the trauma started in his life. You know what I mean? His dad died also when he was young. You know what I mean? I think he was only a few years old when his dad died. And I think his dad committed suicide. He definitely has seen a lot of stuff. He dropped out of school early as well, and I think he did his own. If I remember correctly, I believe he did his own first kill at like 17 years old. I believe he strangled a lady or a young girl.
Well, that's the girl. Yeah, he strangled her, and what happened was she survived. So that's when he got locked up. And when he got locked up, that's when all started happening, where he got raped, and it just took a different route. You know what I mean? But like Sean said, this is a dude that never had a chance. He didn't have a chance because that's what he was. Basically, they groomed him into that shit, bro. At the end of the day, and he had a Napoleon complex. It is what it is. The dude was like 5'2", 5'3". People were bullying him. They were testing him and doing all kind of stuff. And dude just flipped, bro. It just, that light switch just clicked. Yeah,
and then he was doing, like you said, he was committing a lot of robberies. And then sometime in the I think it was the early 50s, he got a 4-year sentence and went to prison. And then before he was done with his sentence, I know he escaped. And then they caught him within a couple of days. I know that. and then from Virginia, he went to another state. Let me see. I think it was Michigan. I know he went to Michigan, but I don't know if it's the right order. But I believe it was Michigan, and he had a sister over there that he went to go live with. And then while he was in prison, he met some lady during pen pal that he had started corresponding with while he was incarcerated. And I know his mom, when his mom caught wind of it, she wasn't happy with the lady that he picked. I know that. And she had disapproved of it. I guess they were engaged. That's what he broke the news to her. Yeah, that they were engaged, and his mom was like, "Nah, I'm not with that." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then she insisted on him moving back and taking care of her. She was getting older, and then he refused to do that. And then they were arguing all the time, and it escalated. And then his mom ended up smacking him over the head with a broom, and then he stabbed her. Stabbed her in the neck.
Yeah,
Crazy, man.
I'm telling you, it is what it is.
His own mama. You know, but you know, you can just imagine that the hate that he had probably for her. You know what I mean? Making him dressed up like a girl, making him watch her perform oral and all that. You know, what prostitutes do. But to make your child watch, that's crazy. And then later on, a little bit after that, like I mentioned, she pimped him out with men and women. So just imagine the hate that he had for her. He had to have a ton of hate for her. I would assume. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, bro. Because you got to remember, he's blaming his life on her. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what you created. You know, so it is what it is.
Yeah, and then the mom didn't die, but the sister found him in a pool of blood. And then the warrant went out for him for attempted murder. And then that's when he went on to another state. I think it was the one closest to Michigan, Ohio. I think it was.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was Ohio. Yeah, it was Ohio. And he was arrested soon after he bounced in Ohio for the Michigan warrant. He claimed to have killed his mom in self-defense, but he ended up getting 40 years in the joint in Michigan for second-degree murder. And then he only did 10 years. He only did 10 years on it. That's crazy. I was thinking about that. Like that, second-degree murder, you get sentenced to 40, you do 10. So I mean, you're talking a quarter of the time. You know. And then this is now that after he gets out from doing that 10 years. That's when he steps up and he starts doing a couple girls, school girls, and he got another little sentence for that. And then he established another relationship with another woman that was like a family friend and a single mom that started writing him. And then he got out. Okay, so he got arrested in the early 70s for that, on killing his mom.
Jeez.
And then he did, like I said, he did 4 or 5 years. I'm not sure if it was 4 or 5, it was something like that. And then when he got out, he to this lady that was a family friend.
Wow.
And
that's crazy, bro. I can't.
And he left, and then he left the marriage after 2 years. After the stepdaughter accused him of abusing her.
Well, what he did, there's one that he took, the wife he was with, they had a daughter together, and there was one girl, I guess, that was having issues. You know, you always have the troubled teens, and she looked up to his wife, and the poor girl went to his house, still with the daughter, and she decided to leave one day, and he told the daughter, "Oh, I'm gonna walk her out." Bro, he walked her outside. He wound up murking her, bro, and burying her right on back of their house. And this is a story that his daughter, so those who don't know about him, look him up on YouTube. There's actually a documentary on him. And the daughter does the documentary. And, yo, the stuff she says is like, wow, it makes your hair stand up because you're like, damn, a human can do that.
The human mind is complex, capable of doing of anything.
Bro, that's a little steep there, bro. The stuff that they used to do.
So, yeah. So after he left that relationship with the stepdaughter accusing him, because I got this stuff on the top of my head, I don't want to forget, right?
Yeah.
He ends up bouncing between other family members, right? I mean, in different locations, like in different states. So we already covered like 3 states or 4 states already, right? And he went to stay with some family members, and this time he didn't go to Virginia, but he went to West Virginia, and then he got into some other relationships there, but that next relationship ended when family members of the lady he was seeing confronted him about more sexual abuse allegations. And then it goes kind of more weirder, because he befriends another psycho named what's that guy's name? What was his first name? His last name is Tool. His first name is I think it's Otis, I think. Is that right? Otis, yeah. I know his last name is Tool. And then they got together, and then now they go to Florida. And I guess Tool's parents live there in Florida. You know what I mean? And they got close to the guy's niece. And he had like a mild little the niece had a mild disability and had escaped from juvenile hall or something like that. And for a while, the niece was getting back kind of stable with her mental health.
Yeah.
And and then so from there, excuse me, wait a minute, I want to make sure I get this right. So from there, they started working. It kind of didn't explain too much about that, but other than, the niece was having some issues, and he befriended her, but it didn't really say, to what I could find when I was looking, what happened after that. Because I started looking around because I was wondering, like, why would they even put that in the story if nothing came about of it? But wait a minute. Oh, okay, here we go. Because I wrote something down about it too. The last name of the niece was Powell, and she was put in a shelter by authorities after her mother and grandmother died in '82. So she was still, at this point, she was having more issues, more mental breakdowns and stuff like that. And Lucas convinced her to run away with him. That's right. And they lived on the road. Yeah, because I got all these different names of these serial killers in my head and what I read, and I'm trying to keep it in order. You know what I mean? But I was, you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't want to get off track with the wrong people. So I looked over what I had written down, and yeah. So what happened was the grandmother and mother passed away, and she was put in that in like some type of mental care institution. And he was visiting her, and he convinced her to run away. And then they went to California. Where another employer, they got a job with an employer, and they both worked for the employer in California. And Rich is, I guess Rich was the last name. Rich, oh wait, excuse me. Rich. However, Rich family turned the couple out, accusing them of failing to do their checks on Rich's account. Yeah, that's what it was. They stole some money from the boss that they were working for. So then they started hitchhiking, and then they land in Texas. So, I mean, by the way it's going thus far, I mean, we're going to be in every state by the time the story's over. You know what I mean? But at the time, the girl, Powell, was only 15 years old. So here they are hitchhiking. You know, they got accused of stealing. They get kicked out of where they were living and working, and now they're hitchhiking. You know what I mean? So they end up getting into it because she's feeling homesick. She wants to go back to Florida. And she all of a sudden disappears. And Lucas claimed that he left her at a truck stop in Texas. And he was picked up by the Texas Rangers for unlawful possession of a firearm And he ended up admitting to that Texas Ranger that he killed Al and the people they were working for before they took off hitchhiking. I forgot about that part. He was transferred to a jail in Texas where that county that murder happened, and he tried to kill himself because he was saying he was getting the rough treatment from the inmates. This is what you're talking about here with all the abusing them and stuff like that. Right. And man, I mean, from what I found, I'm not gonna get into too much details about it because it's pretty gruesome. But they did a number on this guy as far as the damage they did to his body. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Pretty sick. At the time, he hadn't done that weirdo stuff yet. I mean, well, no, I take that back. He was accused of it. He wasn't convicted, but he was accused of it. But eventually he was doing that weird ass shit. You know what I mean? So I always had a belief that but
it all comes down to the same thing, bro. These guys, they all just, I mean, there's always something in life that turns them into that. You know what I mean? There's sick people out there, but they hold their, they hold it in check or whatever. But shit like that happens, it blows it right out.
Right. Right. So he ends up confessing to numerous additional unsolved killings. And he confessed in 28 unsolved murders around this time in Texas.
Damn.
That's a lot. But this is what they, from what I read, and remember I had mentioned earlier that they said upward of 250 murders.
Yeah.
That they had cleared over 200 murders that they feel that he was involved with, but he wasn't convicted of them. I didn't find nowhere that he was convicted because he confessed to murders, but they didn't charge him. I don't believe. You know what I mean? He was doing a gang of time already. At the end there. You know what I mean? So they thought him to be a cunning mass murderer.
Yeah.
Taking the restaurant, cafe, Brady Yanka. Yeah, it's crazy. The story's crazy. 250 murders. Can you imagine that?
Bro, that's off the wall, man. But I mean, and he's one. There's so many of them out there that were like that, bro. And like, okay, Lori Love just mentioned Son of Sam. Okay, Son of Sam.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude right there. Come on, man. You're doing what you're doing because you said the dog told you to do it. Really, bro?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
David Berkowitz.
Caught up. David Berkowitz, and he caught it in jail, bro. He caught it in jail.
Right.
But you got so many. You got, look at 5.56, like he said, John Wayne Gacy. That was another psychopath.
Right.
That dude, he's getting young boys and doing this. I'm like, damn. You got the other dude I mentioned. Oh man, I forgot his name now, bro. The dude that used to put people into hamburger meat. I mean, damn. Really? The dude's cooking.
Yeah, Dahmer was doing shit like that too, wasn't he? I think he was eating some of the body parts.
Oh, Dahmer was eating them, but this dude was selling them.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's all nasty. Yeah, it's disgusting. Yeah, I mean, I shouldn't laugh. I mean, it sounds weird, but it's unfortunately, people's loved ones, a lot of these people.
¿Cómo fue, Carlos?
He had body parts in his refrigerator.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
he had all kind of shit, bro. Yep. It is what it is. Look how he started. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of when he was young with taking animals, opening them up, and I mean, right there, bro. You ain't noticing something? Being a parent, you ain't noticing your kids coming home all crazy and shit?
Yeah. We had Joel the Ripper, Joel Rifkin.
Yeah, Joe Rifkin. Yep. That mofo, he was another one. I mean, he was one that he grabbed these chicks, man, and he would strangle them and do all kind of shit. It was like, wow, man.
He was he would play a game in his head because he would actually dismember them and put their body parts in different areas. He left one head of a female inside of a paint bucket and left it on a golf course. Then he
Yep.
put her legs, her arms and legs in another section of New York, and then threw her torso into the Hudson.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? I think I seen the Law and Order the version of that, I believe. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember that now. Because Law and Order always usually does a real story. You know what I mean? They just redo it and put it in New York City. You know what I mean? But yeah, for that, it was in the Hudson. It was in the Hudson River, the torso. Yes. Yep.
Yeah. It's people that are like that. They're psychotic, bro. You know, and not for nothing, but we're talking about these guys, and somebody brought up Roy DeMeo. Okay, DeMeo was psychotic, bro. That dude, I mean, come on, you're gonna cap somebody, hang him up in a bathtub, slice their throat, let the blood run into the shower, and eat while you're waiting for it. I mean, come on now, really?
Yep. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Then package them up in meat packaging paper and put them around the city. That's crazy.
The Gemini Lounge, the Gemini method. They had a particular method. You know, you shoot them in the head, you wrap a towel to stop the bleeding from coming out. You stab them in the heart to keep the heart from pumping, and then you hang them and bleed them out. See, it takes so it's not so messy. You gotta hang them and leave it for a couple of hours so that the blood thickens. It congeals. It has to get thick. And then he just dismembered them and put them in food tarps, and that's it.
Yeah.
Then when they wrapped the towel, over the head first, and then like Carlos said,
you shot him in the head. They wrapped the towel, then they stabbed the heart to keep it from pumping blood. They cut the major arteries, hung them upside down while they bled out. Let the blood congeal, so that way when they go to the dismember them, is not so messy. They had it down to a science.
Right.
And
he learned that from being a butcher, right? He was a butcher, I think, first, wasn't he?
Yeah.
With that's where he learned the methods of the cuts and all that. Right. Yep. Yeah. I was gonna bring up before you brought up the mail. I was gonna bring up the Iceman, how supposedly he was, Kalinsky, how he was putting people that he didn't like as a kid in the cave, and he was letting these rats go and eat the guy up, and he was videotaping it and the sadistic things he was doing with animals first before he moved on to humans. You know what I mean?
You know what? I'll be honest with you, and my opinion, like I said, I think Kuklinski he went a little overboard because they have caught him in some bullshit lies. You know what I mean? It was just weird, you know, the way he did it. And then when they did the documentary, how the guy was gonna take out his whole family, bro. He exaggerated a lot, but the one from his original trial and everything, those are the actual ones that he actually did. A lot of ones he didn't, you know, but he was also kind of smart. Like the one particular hit that he did, which is the use of cyanide, you know, spill a drink on somebody with the cyanide in it, let it soak into their pores, and in the club. I know what you're talking about, where he went in dancing and spilled it on. Yeah, that was slick, bro. That was slick. Or freezing, when he was freezing them.
He over, like you said, he exaggerated on a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
He lied about a lot of things. He wasn't connected like that. You know what I mean? And definitely didn't. I don't think he killed as many as he said he did. That's a lot of people, man. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I mean, you're talking. Come on, like they try to say, like Scarpa, between Scarpa and Sonny Francis, they say what, 300 people or more. It's like, damn, man, the family ain't even that big. How would they kill that many people? You know what I mean? Shit. I mean, is it possible? Yeah, but I mean, come on, it's you know, it's something else.
Yeah, man.
They've always exaggerated the numbers when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep.
The more they say, the more, you know, it is what it is, bro. He was already doing a life sentence, so why not? He's gonna throw all kind of bodies in there.
I forgot the guy's name, the one that was in Russia. He was now he had a high body count, and they still didn't have the exact total, but it was something close close to that amount. It was ridiculous, and he didn't. He got everybody from adults to children.
Oh man, that dude. Yo, like I said, they've got people, man, that we don't even know of. I mean, look, I put a guy in there. He was a doctor, and that's for a guy that's over the pond, bro. He had over 300 bodies, man. You know, and he was just putting them to sleep like nothing. I was like, wow, that takes some balls, bro, for real. Signing paperwork so he could get insurance money. I'm like, holy shit.
And that's the thing. Some of them were born that way. They were already born with that defect, and it starts as kids torturing animals and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then a lot of them traumatizing experience in life growing up push them to become those kind of monsters. Some are born monsters, and some were pushed to become monsters.
Yeah, man, it is what I mean. At the end of the day, bro, like I said, you have a lot of people out there, and I've always said it. The human mind is a dangerous thing, bro. Is a dangerous thing. Harold Shipman, that's right, Pain Like Bane. Yeah. Harold Shipman. And you looked at this guy, bro, and he looked like a mellow dude. You know, a regular Joe Schmo. You know, he was a doctor. You would think, oh, yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, right. That's crazy, man. But again, you don't know what a person's capable of. I mean, when I was growing up, I had a friend of mine who, I mean, we were raised together, good kid. When we got older, we lost contact, man. And I ran into him on a train one time, and I noticed he was off. Something wasn't right with the kid. And lo and behold, bro, he wound up murking his girl, her 2 kids, and he tried to take her friend out. She played the dead role. And when the cops got there, he took an accidental dive off of the projects.
Wow.
You know how that works. It was an accidental, you know, he was trying to run, so he accidentally went over.
Yeah, and we know how that goes.
Yep. So, you know, like I said, it's something that just snaps, bro.
And that's basically somebody knew that even rehabilitation will never fix that problem. So sometimes it's just better just to remove it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
But there's been so many in just this country alone. You know, you had what's the guy in Atlanta that was killing the kids?
In Atlanta,
the African American gentleman.
That was Wayne. Man, I forgot.
Gentleman or piece of crap?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I don't recall that one. Atlanta, huh?
That was, they used to call him the boogeyman. Wayne Williams.
Yep, Wayne Williams.
Wayne Williams. He was considered the boogeyman. And it got to a point where when it first started, they were saying it was a white guy. It was a white guy. They kept seeing a white guy driving up and picking up.
Oh, shit.
And let me, okay, so they kept saying it was a white guy, this and that. The only reason they caught him, bro, was because he kept going back to the scene of the crime. You know what I mean?
And that a lot of the times too is that you'll have, let's be honest, you'll have a bias, and from their aspect, they associated that most of these serial killers were of Caucasian nationality.
Yep.
So they at no time they thought that it would be an African American. Goes to show you, you know.
Yeah, bro. It is what it is. I mean, he's not the only one. We had another guy that I forgot I gotta get his name. I did it up on the thing. I wrote it down, I forgot about it. Samuel Little.
Oh yeah.
Yo, Samuel Little, man, everybody underestimated. That dude had over freaking they said it was like 80 to 90. I think it was more.
Right. That was, yeah, he was the one I was speaking of earlier when they said there was 58 other murders that they believe he committed that they couldn't pin on him.
Yeah,
I think
no,
they were able to tie confirm close to 40.
Jesus Christ. That's a little much.
Actually, they said it was 60 out of 93 that he confessed to. And this guy did this was across 19 different states over 35 years. This guy was committing murders. Fucking insane.
Bro, that's crazy. You know,
What about Ed Gein?
Ed Gein, that was another one. That's bro.
That's what they used Ed Gein to do the basis for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because he would actually wear the skins.
Yep.
Wow.
Silence of the Lamb, all of that. Yeah, that was based on him.
Yep.
That was based on him. And that dude, you see him, he wasn't a big dude. He wasn't a big dude. He was a short dude, man. He looked like a farmer. That's what he looked like. But look at the shit that he did, bro. He had his moms up in the house, dead for I don't know how long, kept getting women up in there, skinning them. I'm like, damn.
They had somebody close to him speak on it, and they were saying that what they charged him with is not even a fraction of what he did. He said from his conversations with Ed Gein, he would laugh and say, "I have close to 70."
That's too much. Aegon, what's going on, man? Just chilling.
Just chilling. Aegon.
Kemper yet. We haven't hit on Ed Kemper.
No, we haven't. Yeah, over 30 years without being found. He just died recently. Yeah, he just died in 2020. Some of these guys, man, and you know, and there's one that's it's kind of close to me. These guys were given the name the Speed Freak Killers, and it was two guys that grew up together as kids, best friends, Lauren Herzog and Wesley Shermantine. Together they were only convicted initially of 4 murders, 3 of them together. But they're suspected of 72 murders in and around the San Joaquin County area. One of them's on death row. The other one initially was given 100. I'm not really sure on the number. I know it was like 170 years, 180 years, something like that. He went back on an appeal, and then I believe he worked with them, and he was given like 10 or 14 years. Upon his release, they tried to place him somewhere, and the county that they committed their crimes didn't want him. All the surrounding counties didn't want to take him on their parole, on their caseload. They ended up putting him in a little trailer on the prison grounds of High Desert, which is way up north in Susanville, California. And he was in a fenced-in area with a trailer. And the COs used to go into town and buy his groceries and all that stuff. And he had an ankle monitor on him.
Yeah.
Well, there was a new, I'm not sure if she was assembly lady or she was a state senator of California, but she started pressuring the guy at death row to give up information on the burial sites of these women, right? And how they got caught was a lady ended up getting away. I believe she played possum as well, and that's how they initially got arrested. But when this assembly lady or state senator lady started making contact with the guy in death row, his last name Shermantine, his ex-crime partner, which is Herzog, caught wind of it, and he got all scared. Obviously, he had to get scared because he ended up hanging himself, killing himself, committing suicide. And I believe he got scared and didn't want this guy to give up more information because, like I had mentioned, they were believed to be involved in over 72 murders of women, and they were only convicted of 4, but only 3 together. So that means if this guy would have gave up more information, he was involved with these other murders, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them, he would have went back to prison on probably a life sentence. He was like, hell no, I'm not doing that. And he hung himself. I was told a story of a guy that ended up landing where he was at, and they recognized each other, not each other. He recognized him, but didn't know where he knew him from. Well, he recognized him from the newspapers and the news, and he asked him. He goes, "Hey, you look familiar," or something like that. And the guy, I don't know what he really told him, but the next day he was gone. So he got out of there. He didn't want, he didn't want his covers to be pulled. And the funny part about it was that he couldn't get to him anyways because they were up in high desert, and it was a split program where they had the buildings where they had so many GPs in that building, so many PCs in that building. They don't come out together. They do control the movement. Everything's controlled, so it wasn't like the guy can get to him anyways. But that was enough for to spook that dude, and he got up out of there. I don't know if they moved him to another building, because I haven't been to high desert, so I'm not really sure if they had other buildings that same way with housing both classifications, or was it just one building like that, or did they put him in Aztec, because he said he was scared. I'm not sure about all that, but if that was the case, he was really he knew what he did, and he knew he was a coward for that shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, this dude ended up killing himself. And the funny, when I said earlier about it's kind of close, is because this guy Shermantine, he has a girl cousin that has a child with my brother's brother-in-law. So and she has the same last name. And I also know a couple of the other cousins that I've done time with. And this was around the time this happened, so it was like the talk of the jail. You know what I mean? Because this is a high-profile case. They got I'm not sure if it's Dateline or 2020, but they have all that. Forensic files or those programs. I don't. A couple of them highlighted this case. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it was a big deal for that area. You know what I mean?
Lou, you ever heard of this guy? I'm gonna put his picture up so you can tell me. You don't know who that is, Lou?
Oh yeah, that's that guy.
Oh, that's that one. The dating game killer.
That's the dating game killer.
Yeah.
Yo, that dude on TV and all. He was like I said, he reminded me of the Richard Ramirez type.
Yeah, he did look like him, kind of.
Oh yeah,
he did look like him. Yeah. Speaking of that weirdo, that's another weirdo, California weirdo. Actually, originally from Texas.
Aegon B. Targaryen knows his stuff, kind of like Buffalo Billy. You know what? You can always, drop a link if any, because I'm sure this is a topic that many here find not to, say interesting, not fascinated, but find it interesting. And I'm sure they have experience with certain serial killers they particularly looked at. I had Buffalo Billy send me one that I watched, and it was based on a 5-part, 45-minute apiece documentary, and it was deep. And I'm sure there's others that, So if you guys know any one of these particular serial killers that you actually researched and knew about and would like to speak about it, you guys can jump on the live and give us your thoughts on it.
Rodney Alcala, Rodney Alcala. He was they got him for 6 women and a kid.
Wow.
6 women and a kid, bro.
You want to cover the Richard Ramirez?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
So so I don't know if a lot of people are aware, but he's from Texas originally, and his real true name is Ricardo Leyva Munoz Ramirez, and his nicknames, obviously a lot of people know him by the Night Stalker, but he also was called the Valley Intruder because a lot of his crimes were in San Gabriel Valley, which is part of LA County. He was born in 1960 in El Paso, Texas. He died June 7, 2013 in Marin Health Medical Center. He had lymphoma, B-cell lymphoma, and his CDC number was K37101. He first started doing like break-ins to cover his drug habit. So he was doing burglaries, a lot of burglaries to cover his cocaine habit. He had a pretty heavy cocaine habit, and he would do. He first started calling him the walk-in killer. He started doing crimes in California in like '84, and then they caught him in '85. It was like a 14-month span of murders and rapes and weird shit. He was sentenced to death in California in 1989. He was housed in San Quentin because that's the only place they had death row at the time. Now I believe if you haven't exhausted all your appeals, they can put you in regular yards now. At one point, if you were condemned in the state of California, everybody was in San Quentin if you're a male. But now they changed it, so you got guys in some places regular prison yards now. He was arrested in August of '85. He was convicted of 13 counts of murder, 5 attempted murders, 11 counts of sexual assault, 14 counts of burglary, and he was given 19 death sentences. Shit.
Yeah.
And when they caught him, he was grabbed and apprehended by some gang members, and they held him. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they were whooping on him until the cops got there, because that's what I would have done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that right there, what you just said, bro. They Netflix did a documentary on him, and when they grabbed him, yo, they put an ass whooping on him, bro. They straight up his ass.
Yeah, because he had these communities terrified. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
terrified. You know, because he was, like I said, he was, as far as I know, from everything I've read, he stood only in that one area of Los Angeles County, which is San Gabriel Valley, which is still pretty big, but I mean, after a few times, people were gonna start being, afraid,
Yeah.
So yeah. So I would have been whooping on him too till they came. It said his childhood was influenced by crime. He was abused by his father. He began developing gruesome and I'm not really sure how to pronounce his word. I think it was called macabre, something like that. Interest in his early and mid-teens from his
macabre.
Huh?
Macabre.
Yeah, there you go. He had an older cousin that taught him a lot of military skills that he would go on to use during his killing spree. He was cultivated a strong interest in Satanism and the occult. And then, like I already I mentioned already about his drug use. And that's what his early burglaries were to support his cocaine habit. And
that's where he earned the name the Walk-In.
Right, exactly. And,
good to see you, my brother.
How are you, Carlos?
Yeah, what up, man? Yeah, what up,
you
man?
Guys. Nelson, Big Lou, Carlos, good to see you guys.
556 Media in the house. But,
what I've always found fascinating about these individuals is the amount of mail they receive and the women that are attracted to that kind of stuff. That's what I find that's just incredibly crazy.
Unbelievable, bro.
Yeah, Carlos, you're right. Remember Susan Smith from what was it, the Carolinas?
Texas.
Remember she killed her kids?
Yeah, she threw them in. She drove them in the water. Yeah, Texas, I think it was.
It was North or South Carolina, I forget. But she had an enormous amount of fan mail from guys. Like, what the, seriously? And they're like, "Hey, you want to go out? You want to date? You want to marry me?" Shit like that. I'm like, "Are you serious? Like, that's how it rolls." And it's sick. It's sick.
How many have gotten married behind those walls to pen pals?
Yeah,
but Ramirez had a freaking tribe, bro.
Yep.
Yeah. So did fucking that other asswipe. What's his name? The one,
Manson.
The old man. Manson.
Don't forget about Charlie. Charlie.
Yeah, Manson.
Charlie. Yeah, South Carolina. South Carolina. You're right. I don't know why I thought Texas.
Oh, Peterson.
Yeah.
The cop.
No. Scott Peterson.
Scott Peterson.
Scott Peterson.
Scott Peterson. Yeah. So that's only like 25 miles from where I live at.
Yeah.
Where that happened.
Yeah.
I was in jail when that happened. Yep.
Yeah, men and women are like they have this infatuation, like, well, I have to be attached to this killer, and then, you know, they well, I'm not gonna say they, but I'm talking about the killer, they, but people have this infatuation, like, well, I have to write this person, I have to marry this person, I have to F this person, I have to do whatever this person. This is just, and these are crazy people that do that. You guys know that.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, it makes you question society in a whole, you know?
Yeah.
I remember when you had the Menendez brothers on trial.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the amount of women at the courthouse outside with signs so about we want to marry you and stuff like that. It was just like, wow.
Oh, and they're married. They're married to a couple of them now.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But they were beautiful women. I mean, I'm watching this the old news, and I'm like, look at these amazingly beautiful women, and they are going crazy. Like, wow.
But could you imagine, Carlos? Like they're like Match.com sites, like the Menendez brothers, like they have like killed parents with a shotgun, like fish, want a date? You know what I mean? It's like, It's like, what the
oh man.
Who are you speaking of, Sean? Who would go to GP? Ramirez? No, he's dead. You remember originally too the murder, the Melendez, the father, they thought it was the Genovese that had something to do with it. I don't know if you remember that. They said that the father had some business dealings with the Genovese, and they, you know, somehow they attracted to New York or something like that.
But you can also see like some would have that effect, and I know it might sound crazy, but look at Charlie Manson. Like even when you watch his interviews, his past interviews, he's fucking charismatic. He's charismatic as shit, and you can see the craziness in him. But you see it and you say, "Wow!" Now I get it. Why these young girls were so enthralled with him, because he's charismatic. But then he would tell you, like I watched one where he told the one reporter, you know, I'm coming. I got a lot of friends in here, and they tell me, Charlie, we're coming out soon. Do you need us to do anything for you? And I watched this, and I remember watching it saying, wow, if I was this reporter, I'd be shitting on myself, because the way he came across is like he's dead serious.
Yeah.
All he would have to do was write a letter or tell a particular person, do me a particular favor, and it would have got done.
Absolutely.
He was in the protective, he was in the PHU, the protective housing unit. There was a bounty on his head, so that's what he couldn't be out there with everybody because they wanted to kill him. The Folgers, the people that owned the Folgers, I believe it was the Folgers, they had a bag on his head, so CDC wouldn't put him out there. He was always protected. So any of those people who were telling him, "We'll do something for you," they were just like him, being protected. You know what I mean? Yeah, because originally, back when he first came through, because he came through in the 60s, right? I believe he came in like 68, 67, 68, 69. I believe he has an early B number because they changed from A's to B's in 67 or 68, and I believe he has a B number. He did hit like the normal spots at first, but he was being assaulted and shit. You know what I mean? So eventually they had to put him away. They had to lock him up where nobody can get to him. You know, so he was over there with Sirhan, and they were in the same area. I know for sure them two guys were in the same spot. You know, because
and that didn't help his mental health, did it?
I think he just got more wrapped up in his mind and shit. You know, a lot of people, it messes them up bad. That's why they do that. That's why they slam them and put them in Pelican Bay where the lights are on all the time. Everybody got eye problems. Eventually, they're talking to themselves. Then they took the cellies away because cellies were assaulting cellies and trying to kill them because one of them became bad standing and stuff like that with the organization, whatever organization they belonged to. You know what I mean? So then they was just single. If you were a validated member of one of the 4 prison gangs, you were only allowed, no celly, and a lot of guys broke because of that. A lot of guys end up saying, the hell with this shit, and debriefing and all that coming out of there. Because the only way you're going to come out of there is if you debrief or if you die. That's the only way you're going to come out of the shoot at that time. Now there's no more shoot program. They won a lawsuit in Supreme Court, and they kicked everybody out. They said it was cruel and unusual punishment because you had some guys back there for 40 years, 35 years. 30 years. Where they're only going to yard every other day for about an hour and a half. Everything was getting messed with their store, their packages, everything you could think of. You know what I mean?
I guess the feds didn't get that memorandum because they still do it to this day.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's why I'm thinking. I'm thinking it was on the Supreme Court state level. I'm thinking. I don't think it made it to the federal Supreme Court because if it did, they would have released everybody across the board. You know what I mean? In the shoe. But yeah, I remember a lady when I was a kid. She was a yard duty man, and I remember her telling a story that I guess when they busted Manson in his flock or whatever, there was some lists of people that they wanted to take out. Right? I mean, I don't know how true this is, but she said her dad was one of the people on that list. I don't know. Like again, I don't know how true that was, but I remember hearing that story out this lady's mouth when I was about. This school I went to was middle school, 6th grade to 8th grade. So I had to be 6th or 7th grade at that time. So you're talking about 30 years ago, 32 years ago. You know what I mean? I don't know how true that is, but that's what she said.
Aegon V. Targaryen, yeah. Pelican Bay is as hardcore as you're gonna get.
Yeah, it is. Nunzio, what's
up? Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Yeah.
Good.
Nunzio.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Folsom's only a level. I believe Folsom's a level 2. They did go level 2 down on Folsom, and then they went back up to a level 3. But yeah, Pelican Bay, you got the. There's 3 level 4 yards, A yard, B yard, C yard. Then they have a support yard, which is a level 1, and then they got the shoe, the security housing unit. But that shit's all empty now. You know what I mean?
What's going on? You good, brother?
Yeah, I'm good, Los. How you been?
I'm good.
God bless that. What's up, 556? What's up,
Hey,
Nelson?
man.
What's up, Luke?
What's
How are you,
going on,
sir?
bro?
I'm doing good. How's everybody on the channel?
Everybody's doing good, bro. How's that out there? I heard you getting some bad weather out there.
Yeah, bro, but it's nice though. It's nice to see the rain. It's nice to see the rain. It's been raining these past 3 days, so it's good because in New York it be raining all the time. Over here, we need the water for
Lake Mead, holla.
You got that dry heat out there too.
You gotta feed them crops.
Yeah.
And that too. It rained today here. Matter of fact, off and on. It showered a little bit.
Yeah,
Sean.
I gotta give
Sean,
a shout out, bro. Real quick, because with I just asked him about the weather, but I gotta get out some shouts and prayers to them people in Kentucky, bro. You got 30 days so far, and it's supposed to start raining and doing the same shit again. So who knows how many more they're gonna get? So thoughts and prayers out there.
Yes, thoughts and prayers to everyone out there in Kentucky.
Yeah. 30 some now?
Yeah, they're at 30 right now, and they're waiting. They're still looking for more survivors, but at this point, I mean, there's not going to be no more survivors.
Wow.
They can't get to them unless it's by like helicopter, or because even boats, like there's blockages.
Yeah, they can't get to them, and it's sad because those 30 people, there's a lot of young kids in there, and it's really messed up, man.
It is.
It's a shame.
It is.
Yeah, April Red Rum says Charlie hated the Beach Boys. Yeah, I think he wrote a song or something. I don't know. He had a connection with them. Yeah, Sean, the hunger strike ended. Yeah, that's what started the shoe kick out was the hunger strike. All the main leaders of the Big Four got together up there, and they had representatives, and they I guess they sat down with CDC or whatever. But CDC is pushing now to I don't know if you're aware, but they've been like some real killings going on lately in the California Department of Corrections. You know, when I was doing time, it was more like slicing. You know, guys were getting sliced in the face. You know, and that was more like to get removed. You know, it was a removal. But now that you got all the big boys on the yards, you know, they're trying to take people's wins again, like how when those guys used to be on the yard. So it's one guy got busted with a cell phone. They ended up killing him. Yeah, he. All I'm going to really say is that he did an interview on one of these channels, and supposedly he didn't know the rules, which I don't understand that. But anyways, they ended up killing him.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's sad, man. Shit is sad all the way around.
Yeah. That's the big four, Aegon. Yeah.
Yeah, there was another situation too that happened in New York back in the day. I think it was in the 70s. It was called the Phantom of the Opera Killer. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Nah, never heard of that one.
Yeah, the dude was like working at a place, and the girl was like playing, like she was part of the band or whatever, the orchestra, and basically she like had an intermission or whatever. She went upstairs. The dude was drunk and high, and then killed this woman, and then he threw her off what's that shit called? Like an elevator shaft, bang, and like stripped her clothes butt naked, threw her clothes down the elevator shaft. It's a shame, you know.
Yeah, no, that's too much, man.
My ex-wife tried to do that to me once, but I
Damn.
Yeah,
it was in Ohio. It's statute of limitations. I don't want to talk about it.
And then look, then you had a female. Look at Eileen Wuornos.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The monster.
Yep.
oh yeah, the monster.
That was a good movie.
Oh yeah.
Well, you know, it was based on like certain things that, you know, she went through in her life. It was a shame though, you know. It's a shame, you know, all around. You know, she got tortured by men and all this other, you know. It was a shame though, you know.
Yep.
Traumatizing experiences will do that. They'll last longer inside some people than others, and you can't get away with it, and it just multiplies in their head. I guess in her mind, she felt, you know, she was doing the right thing, but it goes to show you that, you know, it's not just men that are capable of such violence. You have certain women that'll do it. You know, she wasn't the first. There's been a few countless nurses that were actually doing such activities, and it's just like I guess in a way it's like an adrenaline rush for them. You know, it starts off like that, but then eventually when that remorse gene kicks in, and then it becomes a movie inside your head.
Oh yeah. There was this woman in the 1920s, because I've been watching the stuff on Hulu, right? I know it's crazy. It's like fascinating to me how they, like, you know, their minds work or whatever. But there was this woman, she used to feed people arsenic, give them medicine, but it was added, like arsenic was added to the medication. So like, but she killed like a 3-year-old. It's crazy, bro. Like she killed most of her husband's family. You know.
And that's the thing too. These are the ones that we know about. How many countless nurses and doctors and stuff that themselves did things like that, and it was never brought to light, you know. So it's just, this is why
like the
we're
assisted suicide.
Yeah.
We're dangerous creatures, us human beings. What we're capable of, the violence we're capable of.
Yeah.
Oh, it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, I don't know if you guys heard of that lady. She was from Sacramento. Her name was Dorothy Fuentes, and she was renting out. She had a big Victorian type house, and she fixed up the house where she was able to rent rooms out, and the people were moving there, and little by little she was killing them and burying them on the property, and then keeping their SSI checks.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah, she was an old lady already. And she had been to the joint already. Like in the 70s. I'm not sure when she first started going to prison, but she was an evil lady, man. Very evil. And then they put her in a hotel. The cops, I don't know if it was the Sacramento County Sheriff's or it was the Sacramento PD. but they put her in a hotel or a motel while they were digging up her backyard, and she flipped out on them and took off, and they couldn't find her for I don't remember if it was a couple days, a couple weeks, but yeah, it's crazy.
This might sound wrong, but smart woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Five,
Yeah,
5, 6 is
That's
something else.
crazy. You ever heard of the fair? There was a fair back in like I think the 1900s, right? Where like everybody was like they were coming over there. It was a big event, right? But it was a hotel where they were renting out rooms to like people that were coming over there, and this was around like swine flu, and the dude and his wife was like bringing these people to the cellar and killing them, and some of them were asking for him for like abortions, like because back in those days abortions were illegal, and instead of giving them abortions he would clip them and take their money.
Mm.
Yeah,
Sounds kind of like Dr. Kevorkian.
yeah, something like that. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy. They got a fire over here or something.
I hear a fire engine.
Yeah. Yeah, first an ambulance. Well, actually, that was the fire captain went by first in the SUV, and then the fire truck just went by.
In your time, 556, as far as your job, did you come close to any such said individual humans like that?
Yeah. So Benjamin and Erica Sifrit, and anybody that's on here watching can Google it. Ocean City, Maryland. So they were from Altoona, PA, and their victims were from Northern Virginia, and they met up in a bar, Sifrits, which was a really popular bar. I used to work there on the coast, right? And anyway, these two couples hooked up at this bar called Sifrits, and then they went back to the Sifrits place, which was a high-rise apartment building. And anyway, there was an altercation, and this was pre-planned. And Benjamin Sifrit was a Navy SEAL failure, and his wife was she was educated and she had other dreams. Like, this is where I go into the Bonnie and Clyde stuff. And anyway, long story short, the Sifrits ended up killing this couple, dismembering them in the bathtub.
Whoa.
And then dumping their bodies, which is where I come in, dumping their bodies into dumpsters behind like strip malls and shit for like between Maryland, Ocean City, Maryland, into Delaware and going up the coast. And I was tasked with, along with other officers from different agencies, along with mine, for sifting through these dumpsters to find the parts, right? And anyway, so the Erica Sifrit had this obsession with Hooters, like the restaurant or whatever you want to call it, bar, restaurant, Hooters. So one night they broke into the Hooters restaurant in North Ocean City, and they tripped off the alarm. But these two dummies, after they killed the other two, remember, this is the beginning of Bonnie and Clyde. They talked about it. This was their dream to become the next pair of killers. And the police rolled up and they were still there. And then the police, this dumb woman, Erica Sifrit, still had the victim's ID in her purse, bullets, empty casings, and jewelry that belonged to the victim that was reported missing, right? The female victim. And then dude was wearing like, I think it was the dude, Benjamin is wearing like the dude's wedding ring and stuff. So anyway, long story short, they're on the very start, the precipice of their killing spree. And this is where they started. And they got caught because of stupidity, which is the best way to stop other people from getting killed, right? and they got nailed, and they're both still in prison. They got divorced and stuff because, you know, one serial killer one killer wants to tell on the other, but they were at the start, and that leads into the serial killing part because this was pre-planned. They wanted to just start out. This was their testing grounds. All right. So what would have happened after if she wasn't so stupid and infatuated with Hooters restaurants and stuff and carrying all this stuff on her, you know, trophies that they got from the first kill? And
Just imagine. Oh my God. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And most serial killers keep some type of trophy. Gacy kept bodies under his house, right? Other ones kept jewelry, panties, photos, ID cards, whatever.
Yeah.
These dummies kept everything and then committed a crime and got caught while they're doing it. And it was like, oh, well, this is easy. You know what I mean? And that was when they were trying to get some, because they talked about that. They're like, we're just starting out. Let's test out the waters and see how it goes. The new Bonnie and Clyde serial killers. And they got rolled. They got caught because they're dumb, you know? But eventually, most serial killers get caught because they're proud of what they do, and they're like, catch me if you can. Once they get caught, they're very proud to tell you about what they did. Not initially almost, but eventually they're proud to tell you because they're like, this is what I got away with. It's a whole behavioral sciences type thing, and it's just, they're different types of people. And none of us are them, but it just takes a whole different mentality. I'll just say that mentality to do that kind of shit.
Yeah, it does.
It has something to do with their brain waves, like the way they react to certain things. Like, say how we react to pleasure, they get pleasure out of harming people. Like, you know, it's sick, bro.
The empathy gene is missing.
It's a combination between pleasure and remember, there's a difference between pleasure and satisfaction. So it's also a controlling type thing. So there's differences. And like I said, I think I chatted earlier when this first started, check out John Douglas. He's one of the founders of the FBI's Behavioral Sciences Unit. He goes well in depth into this stuff. But like Green River Killer investigation almost killed this poor guy because you have to take the mindset. There's a lot of shit that goes into it, trying to figure out patterns and behaviors and psychological personal profiles, things like. There's a lot that goes into it, and I got trained in it.
Law enforcement came a long way since back. Some of these guys committing murders back in the 70s. I mean, they were around the 80s then, but now it's more. You know what I mean? They're more adapted, or more adapt to studying these people's brains and their behaviors and stuff. You know what I mean? A lot of people
kind of be like that.
Yeah, exactly. I remember reading in the Ramirez thing that the judge had told him during the sentencing how his crimes were like just exhibited nothing but cruelty, callousness, and viciousness beyond any human understanding. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember him. Yeah, because he showed no remorse. So the judge, gave him his 2 cents on it, and he wasn't. He hit the nail on the head. That guy's nuts. Weirdo shit.
Yeah. So the Behavioral Sciences Unit started by John Douglas and 2 of his peers back in the day. It's called something else now, but back then it was the Behavioral Sciences Unit. And John Douglas went to his boss and like, hey, I want to go interview this killer, killed multiple people in prison, and record it, and we'll study reaction statements, stuff like that. And they actually let him do it. And that's what started the snowball effect, right, for that type of investigative ability. And then they tried to shut him down, but he kept going with it and stuff like that. And I forget who the first person he talked to was, and then when he brought back the record, the serial killer was like, yeah, I'll tell you everything. sat down, recorded it, brought it back, and they're like, holy shit, like, keep this going. Snowball effect, like I said, created this whole unit. And then they're interviewing all these different serial killers. And then all these serial killers are like, what do you want to know? And like some of you guys said, Nelson and Carlos and Big Lou, some of these guys will make shit up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because it feeds their ego. But they're like, their whole thing is teasing. Like, they love getting away with shit, but they want to taunt, not just police, but they want to taunt like their victims and families and stuff like that.
Yeah. The other guy I was going to talk about, he did just that. He dropped like over 10 little letters to the news stations and newspaper companies. You know what I mean? Just doing just that, taunting the police and the victims.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
The Zodiac did that.
Zodiac did. That's right, Malcolm. Zodiac did that.
Yeah, Zodiac did that.
Well,
the
guy I'm referring to is he's got 3 different names because he was doing crimes in one area, and then he changed up his MO, and then he moved to another area. He got another name, and then he moved to another area, got another name. But he's known as the Visalia Ransacker. He's known as the East Area Rapist, and then he's known as another one. I can't remember the other ones, but he was an ex-cop. He studied police. I forgot the exact word, but it was an old school word. And he got caught up with some DNA finally after 50 years, and he just got convicted like a year or two ago. Like 400 years or something like that.
What about BTK, ex-cop? Bind, torture, kill guy?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy.
Yep.
What's his name?
BTK killer. I forget his real name, but yeah, bind, torture, kill. And he takes photos and wear their panties and dresses and shit, like keep the trophies. But he was an ex-cop and was a serial killer. BTK.
Yeah, this guy was what he first started hitting houses that were like single women or women with children, single women with children. And then when they started like ripping on him a little bit in the news, then he started going to houses with couples. And what he would do is he would have the woman tie up the man, and then have the man like on all fours or whatever, but he would put dishes on him. And if he heard and then he'd take the woman in the other room and rape her. And if he heard those dishes moving, like if somebody was trying to get up or, just moving at all, then he would kill him. You know what I mean?
So remember,
sick motherfucker.
Like as far as behavioral sciences go, like the serial killers, their psyche, their characteristics, their personalities. So they start with one, right? So they always start with one. And usually it's impulsive. Right? It's not like it's just a situational thing. They do it and they're like, yeah. And then they like, well, this is what I'm going to do next. And then it graduates. It goes up and up and up. So like the dude you're talking about, like he learns from past experiences. He starts out somewhere, or she, but mostly he starts out somewhere and then decides, okay, like you said, okay, I hear dishes moving now. I got to do something. And the next thing you know, it's whack-a-mole. You know what I mean? Like it's a free-for-all. But they have to start out somewhere. And it usually starts with, unfortunately, small animals, things like that. And then goes on to human beings. The first kill is the make or break for human life. The first kill of a human being is the make or break. And then we're not just talking about like drive-bys or fucking like whatever. We're talking about like serious psychopaths, sociopaths that target human beings just to kill for the thrill. Yep. That's what we're talking about. So, right. And it starts out with one, and then it grows, and then they get cocky, and then they're like, I'm smarter than you. And
that invincibility aspect. I'm smarter than all. Yeah, you're right.
I've got away for this long. They start writing letters to the media, to the police stations, or whatever, and they're wearing like full-blown hazmat suits and latex gloves, writing the letter or typing the letter and sending it off. And they'll drive 100 miles to a different post office to send the letter to a newspaper or a police station or something, just to. They think they're throwing law enforcement off, but they get off on the power, the control. They're like, I'm in charge. I can kill as many people as I want. I get off on it. You got to catch me. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So, from my understanding, they didn't catch the Zodiac killer, right?
No.
They have suspicions on who he is, but no.
Oh wow!
Not 100%
Holy crap!
Not 100% positively proven, but they have suspicions.
And then a lot of these guys are getting caught now because of the new law. With if you're a felon, if you have any felonies on your past or a new felony you commit, they take your DNA. Yeah. So a lot of people are either being exonerated because they're proving their DNA didn't match, or they're being, arrested, indicted, and arrested, and ultimately being convicted because of the DNA. You know what I mean?
And also retina too. They do a retina view. Like if you have, if you get arrested, they put you in the precinct and they take your retina scans.
Your eyes.
Actually using retina. They actually are using retina a little bit more, but that's also been around for security. Like you can look into a thing to unlock a door or whatever. That's been around. It's not as proven as DNA, but it is a thing, just like fingerprints. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah, because there's so many cameras around.
I heard of guys.
I've heard of eyesight.
I've heard of guys getting busted too, like from their not the palm, but the side of your hand right there where your pinky is. Like how you put your hand up on the window to look in, and you put your two hands up, to try to shade so you can see inside. I've heard a lot of guys getting busted from that too. Peeking in a window to do a burglary or something. You know what I mean? I met this one guy. He took a plea, 15 to life. I don't know why he took the plea, because when you take the plea, you don't got action and appeals and stuff. And anyways, that's what his was, burglary like that. And he got life. It's crazy.
Yeah. So fingerprints have been around for fucking as far as an investigative perspective, they've been around for
forever.
Yeah, forever.
Yeah.
But
the feds swab you now.
Yeah, and DNA has been more of a court, I guess, accepted. I don't necessarily agree with DNA because, like you said, people are getting exonerated for they're like, well, look, you got charged with this because your fingerprints are there, or there was something there, or a witness, or some bullshit witness, or whatever. And it's like, well, DNA says it was someone else. So DNA is a catch-22. It's like it's either going to catch you or it's going to let you free, right?
Right.
So the poor fuckers that are caught on something like on some other type of evidence that are just sitting there and they know they didn't do it, right? And they're like, I didn't fucking. Someone said I did, but I didn't. They said they saw me, but I didn't. They had a fingerprint near there or on there, but I was there for this, that, or the other thing, not that. And then they have to wait and suffer and go through all that.
Yep.
Shit, right?
Yep. That's part of the bullshit. Yep.
Yeah. DNA is a catch-22.
Holy crap. Nunzio.
Yeah.
I want to thank you for that cash app, that support, my brother. We appreciate it.
Oh, good looking, bro. I was just making sure you got it. I wanted to make sure, that it went to the right person,
Yeah, it went to the quarterback. 556 Media, you see your buddy Fish Tank's here.
I love Fish Tank. Fish Tank's a good dude. He's always been
Fish Tank absolutely rocks.
Good looking out, Nunzio. Yeah, just chilling. Yeah, Manson originally was in Quentin back in the day.
He just said mall fed.
That Fish Tank rocks.
Is that Fish Tank? What's that word he always used? Tradroll?
Tradroll.
I like the way he said it. Yeah, I don't speak too good, Yeah,
I think that's English, bro.
It's funny.
No hablo Italiano.
I don't know if it's I don't know. Chartreux. I think it's English.
Yeah, that's Italian. I'm pretty sure that's Italian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Shadizari says Shadrul.
He's a ball buster, but he rocks.
He is.
He's busting my balls. Is he busting balls again?
Gentlemen, I have to go. My wife's getting ready to go to bed, and I got pugs to take care of. But thank you for having me on.
Well, what do you got to do? Change your diaper? What do you got to do? Change your diaper and bottle feed him?
No, I'm all for it. I check in at the office.
You got pugs to take care of. Like,
there's a clown in every circus, isn't there?
Yeah.
I got some things I got to do too, fellas.
Thanks for stopping by.
Definitely, guys.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by and giving us your police expertise on that stuff.
I'm no expert. I'm just a Shadrul.
Well, you know more about it than I do as far as the FBI profiling and stuff.
Yeah.
556. Thank you for stopping by. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Yes,
Have
sir.
a good night.
Yep, likewise.
See you.
Yes, sir.
Denzel, thank you for stopping by, brother.
Oh, you bounced too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, have a good one.
67. What's going on, Bob?
Is that the 167 kid?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Word. Vaya. Yeah.
This has been a good one, my brothers.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're gonna do little catch-ups on them. You know, we'll drop some every week on our murderers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely be doing some things we haven't done before. We'll experiment with some things, see how it works. If you guys like it, you like it. You know, if you guys got any input, feel free to drop whatever you want to. You know what I mean? If there's anything something you want to talk about, or anything like that, chat. Go ahead and run it.
Yeah,
run it.
We might even do that like towards like the middle of the week, like a Wednesday, where we can have a basic subscriber day where we can touch on any topic. Any subscriber can jump on and basically talk about anything they want, or have any questions that they want. And you guys pretty much know with us, there's not any question that's off topic that we'll answer. We might not initiate certain topics, but if you guys want to know anything, just ask it, and we're open book here. We're definitely not gonna lie to the subscribers.
Yes, sir.
Nope. No, sir. So yeah.
What it is, my friend. But gentlemen, I gotta wrap this one up because I have some stuff I gotta do. Carlos already knows. I gotta do things every 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, I'm glad too, because I got to meet the tow truck right now, 6:30, so I can move I got to move my Chevy. I got to do some work on it, and I couldn't get it to turn over yesterday, so I got a notice to move it that had been sitting in one spot too long. So.
Sea Riders.
Yep.
You're always welcome here, Sea Riders. All you have to do is when you're comfortable and you're ready, you say, guys, drop the link, and we have no problem letting you come over here and introduce and speak. You know, you don't have to, you can use your avatar. That's the thing with us. You know, we understand and we respect that certain subscribers want to keep their anonymity, and that's not a problem with us. And you can come in here and you can just talk about anything, ask anything. Not a problem. I'm gonna drop your link, Sea Riders, right now as we speak.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. I need like 6 or 7 subs to hit 200. On what it do with Big Lou. Hey, you know what? I didn't mention, and I feel bad now not mentioning it, but R.I.P. Bill Russell. He passed away yesterday, I believe. 88 years old. This man is a full-blown champion. I mean, there's none. He's second to none. Put it that way. He's got 11 rings and only 13 seasons. And I believe 2 of the seasons he was a player coach. He didn't even play full time. But this guy nickname was Secretary of Defense. That's how bad he was on the defensive end of the floor and a rebounder. He was second. You know, him and Will Chamberlain were battling it out. You know,
definitely one of the greatest to ever play the game.
Definitely. Top 10 player all time right there.
Yeah.
Well,
I got him number 4 on my list.
I want to thank everybody that showed up, that came and showed love. I want to thank Nunzio for jumping on the live. I want to thank 556 Media for jumping on the live. And thank you all for your support. Lou, you want to do the little roll call before we roll out?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, give me 1 sec. Let me grab the thing.
Yeah, I know it's hard. You got like 4 phones over there?
No, fucking. No, man.
We took it back to the 80s, bro. We used to have like 6 or 7 beepers. Now he got 6 or 7 phones. What the hell?
Okay, Joey D, Agon, April, Bob, Maori, Sole, Doodoo Brown's in town, Drito 5K, Sean, David Hunt, Lori Love, Just Chillin', Primo Johnny, Claudio Perry. I don't know if I said Doodoo Brown's in town. I'm not sure about that one. I think that's it. 556. Also Nunzio.
Lori Love. Sean.
There you go. I'm gonna oh shit. Shoot, excuse me.
We have so many and right now, and I want to give a special shout out to my brother Joe McDougal and my sister Tania Moonstar. Thank you guys for showing your love. It was great. Everybody be easy, and hopefully we'll see you guys Wednesday. Yes, you got any questions or any topics that you guys want to think about, we'll be ready for you guys. And anybody's welcome to jump on Wednesday and talk about anything.
Yep. You got it, my brothers. So chat, have a good one. And we're going to be out. We'll see you guys Wednesday night. Peace.
Be easy, everyone.
Peace.
This is Captain James Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Begin 30-second countdown.
He can't kill the boogeyman.
Conscience, no understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil.
enough.
Are you sure? How?
I killed him.
You can't kill the boogeyman.